This is Larry Jordan, the host of the Digital Production Buzz. The following interview is an excerpt from a recent program. To hear the entire program, visit digitalproductionbuzz.com.
Daniel Sacchelli is the event manager at BVE. And I wanted to start our conversation about media and entertainment in the UK with Daniel because he's got a really good perspective on what's happening because this whole show is his responsibility. Hello, Daniel. Thanks for being with us.
Always a pleasure.
How would you describe BVE?
How would I describe BVE? BVE now is the hub for the entire media and entertainment industry here in the UK.
Now, what does that mean, the entire media industry?
Certainly the concept for this year and going forward is to take BVE from where it used to be, which was very much a strictly UK-focused production and broadcast show, lots of cameras, editing suites, etc., and acknowledging the convergence of technologies and the way the industry is shifting to make the scope of the show a lot broader.
How has the show evolved? Because I remember back years ago, it was just focused on broadcast.
Right.
But now, there's much more than broadcast here at the show.
There is, yes. I mean, if you go back to the Earl's Court days, that was very much the case. Still a very well-respected show and attended by a faithful following. I think since we've moved over to Excel, purpose-built exhibition centre, very suitable for a high-end technology event like BVE. And over recent years, we've seen, as I said, the convergence of technologies. It's become logical that BVE shouldn't just be focused solely on broadcast and production, but should encompass these other areas and these relevant industries that cross over very neatly with BVE, namely AV, live entertainment technology, streaming technology, all of which now play a part for the bigger picture.
Well, I think what that also does is it opens up the market of people that want to attend the show because there's a whole lot more gear that's relevant to what they're doing that a broadcaster may not be interested in, but an independent filmmaker would.
Absolutely. It opens up the market for potential exhibitors who potentially in the past have not seen BVE as a show for them because they thought it was just attended by broadcasters and production companies. But now they see a lot more software, a lot more services, and a lot more organizations offering products and services that are outside of the traditional broadcast spectrum. And then as we see those exhibitors start to come, people start to acknowledge the fact that there is more to see than previously there had been in recent years. And I think that's the only way it's going to go, and the show is continuing to grow. And it's continuing to grow not just in size, but in stature and with its reputation in the industry is growing as well.
Last year, I remember we had close to 15,000 people attend. So, I mean, it's a fairly large show. How would you describe who attends? Who are the people that are coming?
Well, that's been one of the major shifts, I guess, in recent years, certainly since we've moved to Excel. If we discount for 1 second the core BVE audience, which are always going to be our most important group, the broadcasters, the production companies, the DOPs, the camera operators, people from the television and film show floor, then we look at the sorts of organizations that now attend BVE alongside them, and they are shopping centers, retailers, fixed installations like airports and these sorts of guys, the major banks. I mean, every major bank from the city down the road have pre-registered to attend BVE, and I think that's due to the partners we're now working with, like the AV user group, like Infocom, who are an education partner, so they're providing educational content. The Streaming Media Conference, which is co-located at the show, is starting to encourage these visitors from outside that traditional spectrum to now come to BVE. So it's a very interesting mix.
I was just looking at your business card and looking at the logos, and they talk about BVE and London Entertainment Week.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Is London Entertainment Week a show, an event, or what is it?
So London Entertainment Week was launched this day last year. On site at the show, we announced our intentions to the industry to launch London Entertainment Week. The idea being to create a week-long series of events that addresses the wider media and entertainment industry, an all-encompassing event with BVE at the heart of the week. So co-located events, awards, ceremonies. So last night kicked off London Entertainment Week officially with the TPI Awards. So TPI is a magazine by the publisher Mondial. Amongst other magazines, they publish TPI, and they have a very prestigious event for celebrating the technical expertise of live entertainment production, so concerts and touring, theatre and performing arts. And that kicked off London Entertainment Week. And then along with the co-located conferences, we've got various user group meetings and other co-located fringe activity. We're starting to build this series of events that it makes the show more all-encompassing, but still remaining BVE with this 3-day show, so that we don't dilute the core. You know, everything we're doing with London Entertainment Week is to add benefit to our current exhibitors, as well as welcoming people from different areas.
I can see the benefit to these other shows of associating with BVE, because BVE is well known, it attracts a large audience, but what's the benefit to BVE of being associated with these other events?
So if we take the Streaming Forum conference, for example, that's a very high level technical 2-day paid for conference that usually happens in central London. By working with the organisers of that event and hosting that event here, it's a 2-day paid for conference on the gallery level just above the show. Their sponsors, of which there are 8 main sponsors of Streaming Forum 2016, rather than just having a tabletop outside the conference room that you would usually expect, they get a stand on the BVE show floor. So as well as being exposed to the 200, 250 delegates that go to the conference, they're exposed to the thousands of people that come to BVE as well. Everything we're doing shifts this perception of BVE into something far greater. Anything that we can do that brings new buyers to the show that are potentially going to be of interest to our current supporters is an absolute benefit.
You've already mentioned the fact that BVE is growing from its original broadcast roots into a much broader show. What are some of the new exhibitors that you're seeing? What are some of the new trends that are coming to the show that weren't there a couple years ago?
So, I mean, for the very first time this year, as part of London Entertainment Week, we've got an AV and live entertainment theatre. So, on the show floor, we have a cinematography and lighting theatre, production theatre, post-production and workflow, the screen, which is essentially our keynote theatre where we're holding a lot of our fantastic content. And this year we've added an AV and live entertainment theatre to produce 3 days worth of seminar content specifically for that sector, gives that industry the security that BVE is actually investing in the industry. It's doing what we can to drive relevant buyers to the show that are going to be interested in the content, and it sits very neatly alongside the AV and live entertainment zone, which is a new zone of exhibitors that are now joining the show for the first time.
With the new exhibitors, what part of the market have you seen as expanding? What I'm looking at is looking at the UK. What part is growing? Because we've seen that the broadcast is under a lot of pressure. Where are you seeing other opportunities and other companies, and what part of the industry is showing growth?
We're seeing, personally from an anecdotal point of view, what I'm seeing, the way our exhibitors are spending money, there's always pressure on budgets, and that's never going to change. People are always looking for different ways to spread their investment across the show. So what we're seeing now is, very large manufacturers taking their stand space, but also looking for additional meeting facilities, additional branding opportunities to try and have a very focused way of meeting the right buyer. Because it's great, you bring 15,000 people through the door, a portion of those are going to be relevant to you. So we want to try and find ways that we can deliver a more focused buyer to you. We're also seeing a lot more software as a service at the show. It's not just a kit show now. Some of our largest stands are Aspera, an IBM company, Pixit Media, Quantum, these sorts of guys that are starting to invest very significantly in BVE. And it's not just a camera show anymore. It's a very serious business critical event for the media industry.
One of the other things that I saw first at BVE that I'm now seeing at other conferences is the whole idea of integrating the conference on the trade show floor rather than having it being separate in the facility.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning behind integrating conferences in the first place? And then second, I want to talk about what some of the conference subjects are.
Okay, so the idea behind integrating the seminar content, you'll go to some larger events that hold their conferences separately in a separate facility, and that's absolutely fine. Those people are going to spend days accessing very high level content at a paid for conference. By making it, first of all, free to attend, we encourage significant numbers of the whole spectrum of people that are involved in taking content from creation to consumption. By building those theatres on the show floor instead of hosting them in a separate conference facility, what you do for your exhibitors and your supporters is you bring the people there by attracting them with the content, but as soon as those sessions are finished, as soon as the post-production theatre finishes, those buyers are back on the show floor interacting with and testing and comparing products, and that's what our exhibitors want to see.
So for you, the important part is the building of conversations between what they learn in a conference and then talking to the actual
100%.
exhibitors?
They're going to come out of a conference session after hearing something new, something innovative, and they're going to walk over to a camera manufacturer or a service provider and say, right, this is what I'm interested in, how can you help me solve that problem?
What are some of your more popular conferences? What are you keynoting this year?
I mean, just walking around the shore, the show this afternoon, Cinematography and Lighting Theatre is core BVE, and it is absolutely packed. It's standing room only and has been all day, which is great. Same can be said for the post-production theatre. One very interesting one is the AV and Live Theatre because it's brand new. And although there will be a certain level of interest from core BVE visitors about what exactly are we talking about in AV and Live, there's also those new visitors that have never been to BVE before.
One of the big challenges is trying to get people to show up at a trade show.
Sure
and
is.
I know that is no small worry of yours as well. What is it that gets people to come to a trade show, especially in the age of the internet when so much information is available online?
Well, you have to keep evolving, first of all. We do extensive visitor and exhibitor research, pre-show, post-show. What do you want to see at the show? What didn't work so well? Who did you expect to see at the show? You know, are there any new buyer groups that are of importance to you? What other shows do you do and why do you do them? So we do really deep analytical work for exhibitors and visitors. Actually getting them to the show, we're an annual event, so we have a 365-day marketing campaign that's very focused, sending the right messages to the right visitors, making sure that they know that there are things for them at the show, and enough to keep them at the show and to bring them back for multiple days, because what we're seeing now is we moved to Excel, we knew that people that came would stay longer, but now what we're seeing are people are actually are coming back for multiple days as well, because there are more product launches on the show floor, there is more content, and the show is growing in size and in stature, so there's more to see for people to keep returning.
You're surrounded by exhibitors, you've got thousands of people showing up, everybody's having a good time. What are you going to do next year to make the show better?
Well, so it was the big change this year was adding the AV and Live zone and everything associated with London Entertainment Week. Next year is London Entertainment Week Phase 2, so it's adding more co-located events, and we'll be announcing those very soon. We've got co-located conferences, training sessions, some fantastic, really exciting and innovative ideas to bring to BVE, to just create it into something that's more than just a trade show. But certainly in the coming weeks and post-show, we'll be announcing all of our plans.
It's fun to look around the show and see the difference, the wealth of information that's here, and the variety of exhibitors, and the people that weren't here last year, that are new this year, and getting a chance to get exposed to new technology. What is it that gets you the most excited about working on shows like this? Is it the marketing? Is it the conferences? What's the fun part?
For me, it's the actual event. So I said this is an annual event, so we put a lot of work in from the day the show closes. We're already working on 2017. We've already drawn the floor plan for 2017. We've already got our plans for what the content's going to be, or the framework of it. But you can't beat this 3 days, or 4 days including build-up, where it's pretty unique no matter what industry you work in. If you work in events, there's 300 clients here, and for 4 days, they're all in the same room, which is very unique. Has its own set of challenges in a way, but it's really exciting, and it's what keeps me coming back for more. Because all year you're just building up to how you can beat the year before and create new experiences and get more people through the door. So it's something I very much enjoy.
No small amount of pressure. Much better for you than for me, I think. Congratulations. Where can people go on the web to learn more about what BVE is about?
You can hit the BVE website, which is bveexpo.com. So bvexpo.com. And the Twitter hashtag is #BVE16.
That's all one word, BVEXPO, bvexpo.com, and Daniel Sacchelli is the event manager for BVE and London Entertainment Week. Daniel, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you, Larry.
If you'd like to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. To stay connected and receive updates from the Buzz, sign up for our free weekly newsletter now. Or you can learn more about us on our website. And thanks for watching the Digital Production Buzz.